Hey everybody, welcome back to another very exciting Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. I am your host, Jesus Ramirez. How are you guys doing today? I'm looking at the chat and I see a lot of familiar faces with me already. We have Tim Movis. How's it going, Tim? Good to see you. Eat more cookies. Very good advice, Tim. Eat your veggies, definitely, Steve. Why are we talking about food? I think everybody's hungry since it's an early morning in the US and a lovely afternoon in Europe for Tim. Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. This is the welcome stream for the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. I'm going to be with you for 10 days and we're going to work on 9 Photoshop Daily Creative Challenges where we're going to learn a lot about blending modes. We're going to learn about transforming layers. We're going to learn about masking. We're going to have a whole bunch of awesome projects for you to work on. Today is a welcome screen, not a scream, a stream. Today is the welcome stream, and I'm just going to show you a little bit about what the Daily Creative Challenges are, how to upload your work onto behance.net, and basically everything that's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. Let me know where you guys are watching from. I know we have people from Europe. I see Claudia from Print My Soul in Manchester. We have Baldier watching, Sean, Danny, Clarissa, Nadia, thank you guys so much for joining me. It's so exciting to be here with you guys. Oh my god, it's 4 a.m. in New Zealand for Steve. Thank you so much for waking up that early to be with us today, Steve. Really appreciate you joining me. I think I've seen you in pretty much every Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge that I've done, so I really appreciate the support. Hi Michelle, how's it going? Susan, Colby, Oleg, thank you so much. We have, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Ashant from India. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Wow, we have a lot of people in the chat. I just keep scrolling and I can't get to the bottom. I really appreciate all the support. Lee from Norway, Danny from beautiful San Diego, California, one of my favorite cities. We have Yashar from LA. Shara from Dallas, Texas. Lovely city. I visited Dallas for the very first time last year and it's a gorgeous city. We have Marsha from Toronto. We have Manuel from Mexico City. Mexico City is a great city. I love the pyramids, love the food, love the people. Mexico City, definitely an awesome place. We have Andrew Kavanaugh from LA. He lives in Beverly Hills, California. Andrew is a friend of mine. He runs the Photoshop and Lightroom group on Facebook. So if you haven't already, make sure that you join Andrew's group. I'm sure that Andrew will place the link in the chat so that you guys can join the group. Sorry about that. I just read a comment that said, he has moved the mic out. I guess the mic was showing. It is what it is. I just pushed it out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. So let me just switch over into my screen and we're going to talk about what we're going to be doing in the next 2 weeks. This is the Daily Creative Challenge, the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. By the way, if you're watching from YouTube, make sure that you head over into behance.net/live. behance.net/live so that I can see your comments. I won't be able to read the comments if you're on YouTube. So if you're watching from YouTube, head over onto behance.net. And while you're at Behance, might as well hop over into behance.net/challenge/Photoshop. And this is the main page for the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. Make sure that you sign in with your Behance ID or your Adobe ID. And you can click on that big blue button that says hi and then your name, take the challenge. When you click on that button, you'll be notified via the Creative Cloud app for the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenges. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the steps. So basically how all this works. First, each day you'll receive a challenge. We're going to start with the first challenge tomorrow. And then you need to make sure that you log into the community chat, which is on Discord. So you can click on this link here and you can go into the Discord page, which is right here. And under feedback here on the left hand side, right above my head here, like right there above my head, you can see the current challenge tab and you can see the current challenges that people are submitting. So after you watch the challenge with me, make sure that you try it out, create something and submit it onto Discord. And you can see some of the challenges that people were working on in the previous week. And you have an opportunity to ask questions, leave comments, interact with me, the other mentors. We have Beldier, Tammy, Sam, Claudia from Print My Soul. We have the Adobe team, Gus, Rufus, Samantha. Everybody is here. So make sure that you come into the Discord page and leave your work under current challenge. You can also check out the past challenges under the past challenge tab, portfolio reviews, tips and tricks, ask a question, career advice. It's a community built for you, so make sure that you come into the Discord page and join us here. Let me go back into the Daily Creative Challenge page, and let me scroll down. Number 3 is watch the daily live show basically every day. Come with me every morning. I'll be streaming at 9 a.m. Pacific. If you're in Europe, that's 5 p.m. in the UK. I believe that's like 6 p.m. in Italy. Hopefully you don't have to wake up as early as Steve, 4 in the morning, to watch the Daily Creative Challenges, but I will be here streaming every day for 2 weeks at 9 a.m. Pacific. And if you scroll down, you'll see these boxes, and every day starting tomorrow, July 21st, each box will unlock every morning, and it will contain the file that we're going to work with. So every one of the projects that I'll be working with you today will have a starter file. You're welcome to use that file, or you can use your own image and follow along. And also, all the videos are recorded, so if you miss one of my streams, you come in a little late, no worries, everything is recorded, and in that particular box you'll have the recording for that Daily Creative Challenge. Also, if you scroll down to the very bottom of the page, you'll see the past challenges, and they're here by date. You have a whole bunch of challenges by me, Claudia from Print My Soul, Paul Tranny has done some, Ibudu Val. I mean, I think there's probably, 2 years worth of Daily Creative Challenges. Kathleen Martin does challenges in here as well. So there's a whole bunch of stuff for you to catch up on if you're barely joining us here at the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. So let me see if there's any comments or questions in the chat that I should address. Let me just scroll up. We have somebody from Spain, Randy. Hola, how's it going? Marilyn from upstate New York. We have Michelle from the Netherlands. Awesome. And let me just see if there's any questions. South Florida, Julia. This is a random story. I was just watching Bar Rescue, which is, I guess, trashy TV, but they were in South Florida in Fort Lauderdale. Lovely, lovely area. Awesome. We have Lillian from Montreal, Canada. And yeah, there's Andrew's group on the chat. So if you want to follow the Photoshop and Lightroom group on Facebook, Andrew posted the link. Thanks for sharing, Andrew. Awesome. Yep. Thank you for sharing the Discord link, Sam. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Cool. Yeah, let's continue with the introduction. So the next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is the Daily Creative Challenge gallery. So there's 3 galleries. There's a gallery for Photoshop, which is what we're going to be working on in this Daily Creative Challenge, but we also have one for Illustrator and another one for XD. And what the Creative Challenge gallery is a curated community of projects that are created through the Daily Creative Challenges. So if you participate in my Daily Creative Challenge or any of the others for Photoshop, XD, or Illustrator, you have an opportunity to be featured in this gallery. So make sure that when you create work, you submit it into behance.net and that you tag it properly. You have to use the hashtag PS Daily Challenge. If you're doing Photoshop, if you're doing XD, then it's XD Daily Challenge. If it's Illustrator, then it's AI Daily Challenge. So make sure that you use the appropriate tag for that. So let me show you how to create a project, and then we're going to work in Photoshop a little bit. And even though this is a welcome stream, I keep saying the word scream, a welcome stream, I still want to show you some Photoshop stuff that you probably may not know. Something that actually I've been getting asked a lot lately. I'm going to answer in this stream, and you'll see what I mean once we get into Photoshop. But first things first, let me show you how to create a project on Behance. So with behance.net, you need to click on this big blue button, create a project, and that's going to bring up this page that you see here. And from here, you can add images, add text, anything that you want for your Behance project. And for now, I'm just going to quickly just type in daily creative challenge. There you go. That's all I really need, because what I want to do is be able to click on this continue button, because once I get to this continue button, I'll be able to do two things. Number one, get the dimensions for the cover page. So we're going to work on creating my cover page in Photoshop right now. And those are the dimensions that I need to get the right size for the cover page for my daily creative challenge project, where I can include and post all the different projects that we work on together. You can give your project a title, and you can give your project a tag. And this is where I was talking about earlier. You can give a tag. So what you want to do is just add the tag PS daily challenge, so that you could be possibly featured in that curated gallery. So that's very important. The next important thing, which I already mentioned, is the minimum size of the project cover. So 808 by 632. So why don't we go in Photoshop and create that document. The document that's 808 by 632. I already have the dimensions here, 808 by 632. And I'll click on create, and we're going to get a nice blank document. Cool. So it looks like there is low volume. Let me see if I can do anything about that. Maybe I can get the microphone a little closer to me. Maybe I can talk a little louder. Let me know if that helps, if I get a little closer to the mic. Cool. But yeah, let me know. Sam, maybe you can let me know in the chat if the volume is good on your end, but it looks like everything is fine on mine. Anyway, here inside of Photoshop, we can start working on this project. And the one thing that I wanted to show you guys that is really important that not a lot of people know is that Photoshop, in every release, they add or take, I don't want to use the word take away, because Photoshop doesn't ever really take away anything. It just gets placed somewhere else. So basically, when you are creating a layer style, for example, so I'll just type in the words PS, right? And I'll just make that a little bit larger, PS, right? And one of the things that you can do to quickly apply a style to this is obviously create a layer style. So if you double click to the side of the layer, you'll get these layer styles here. And let me reset mine to default. So that's basically what you get by default, right? And you can apply these layer styles to create a cool looking text, right? But a lot of people don't know that under styles, you already have these ready-made layer styles. And if you're in Photoshop 2020, you're only going to get these four folders: basic, natural, fur, and fabric. Legacy styles and more is hidden by default, and that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. A lot of the tutorials that I post on YouTube use layer styles that were in older versions of Photoshop, and now they're hidden. So I'm going to show you how to bring that back, because I've been getting that question a lot in older comments, and it also will help you create layer styles much quicker, or create text effects much quicker, because you have a bigger library of styles to choose from and edit. So I already enabled it, but you can't really enable it from this dropdown, which is where most people would assume that you would be able to enable those layer styles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this group, just so that you can see that the group is gone, and I can't bring it back from here. So what you need to do is go into Window and select styles, and it brings up this panel here. And from this panel, if you click on the flyout menu, you can select legacy styles and more, and then you get that folder back, and look at all these different layer styles that are available to you now. It's literally hundreds and hundreds of layer styles that you can use on your projects. So what I can do now is double click on the side of the layer here, go into my layer styles panel, and here on the left hand side, notice that that group is back, and I have access to the layer styles that were in previous versions of Photoshop. And all I need to do is simply click on them to apply them to my text. And let me find the cool one here. Maybe we can do one of these chrome ones, like that one, for example. So if this is the layer style that I like, what I can now do is go into bevel and emboss and adjust the depth, adjust the different settings to make it look exactly like I want. I can maybe go into color overlay and change the color and make it a different color. See that? Really, really fast way of creating really cool text effects just by clicking once on the layer style. But the important thing to remember is that Photoshop never takes away anything. It always puts it in a different place. So sometimes it's difficult to know where it is. But if you watch my tutorial, anybody else's tutorial, and they click on a layer style and you can't find it on your installation of Photoshop, it's probably because it's hidden in the legacy layer styles option, and this is a way of bringing it back. So super, super cool stuff. Also, something else I wanted to mention is that the same thing is true for the pattern. So if you go into pattern, if you create a new pattern, you can see that Photoshop 2020 only has trees, grass, and water. That's it. And if you click on this flyout menu, that's all you're really gonna get. You can import patterns, of course, but you really can't bring back the old ones from that menu. So what do? Same thing, go into window, select patterns, and from here, from the flyout menu, the 4-line icon there, you can select legacy patterns and more, and then you get all your legacy patterns. See? So now you have a lot more patterns that you can use and apply to your projects. So super, super cool stuff. So when you're creating your covers for Behance, you have access to all these different patterns, all these different layer styles, and they should help you create much faster, and you don't have to spend too much time, creating special effects if you can find something similar or exactly what you want from the patterns and layer styles. And just to show you, the same thing is also true for the gradients. So if you go and create a gradient and you want to select for example, the old photographic toning gradients that were first added in Photoshop CS6, they were really popular with photographers. They're not on by default anymore, so you have to enable them. So again, when you add a gradient, you can see that the old photographic toning gradients are not here. You click on the flyout menu and you can't really add them from here. So how do you bring them back? Exactly the same way. You can go into window and select gradients, and from the flyout menu select legacy gradients, and you'll have the legacy gradients folder here at the bottom. And if you scroll down, you'll find the old photographic toning gradients that were added into Photoshop CS6 to create these cool looking effects. So make sure that you enable the gradients, the patterns, and the layer styles, the legacy gradient, legacy patterns, and legacy patterns, gradients, and layer styles. I don't even know what order I was doing, but the point is you have to enable the legacy ones because they're not on by default. I'm not really sure why that is, but they're still there. You can bring them back, and then you have access to all these different gradients and layer styles to use in your project. So I just wanted to show you guys that, but basically what I would do at this point is just come up with a design that work well for the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. I guess I'll keep that same layer style. I'm looking at the time and I don't have a lot of time left, but basically what I would do at this point is just create a new text layer and call it Daily, if I could spell it correctly, Creative Challenge. And I probably didn't spell it correctly, but we'll see in a moment. This is why I do Photoshop, because I can't really write, so I often make typos. Oh, by the way, talking about typos, did you guys know that Photoshop has a spell check? It's under, I believe it's under type, or is it under edit? Let's see, either edit or type. Where is it? Check spelling, here you go. It's under edit. Edit, check spelling. So if you have text layers and you go under edit, you can click on check spelling, and then Photoshop goes through and checks your spelling. So it's not the best spell checker in the world, but it's in Photoshop if you need it. It's cool. Let me see if there's any questions in the chat. Let's see. Awesome. Clarissa has all the legacy loaded items. Awesome. Good job. Cool. Very cool. I'm happy. Ted, I'm glad you like the hidden stuff that I just showed. Oleg, this is a game changer. Awesome. Oh yeah, that's right, Chad. I can't believe I didn't mention that. Thank you for reminding me. So Chad just reminded me in the chat, thank you so much, that in the latest version of Photoshop, you can rotate patterns. So if I were to bring in a pattern in here, and let me just disable this layer. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll just delete all these layers and show what the new feature is. So with a pattern selected, you can now rotate it like so. So you can rotate patterns now. New in Photoshop 2020. Thank you so much for the reminder. We have Kathleen in the chat. Hey Kathleen, how's it going? Good to see you. Can we create a text layer like you can for a gradient or pattern? Can we create a text style like you can for can you create a text out like I'm not really sure I understand your question. I guess the question is, can you save it? Yeah, the question, so if the question is can you save it, yeah, you can. What you can do, and I only have like a couple minutes here, so let me quickly show you. So basically that's our text layer, and you have the patterns, and let me reset this. You have the patterns here, and I'll select the different patterns so you can see what I'm doing. If I can get to it, there we go. So we have that pattern, so you can save that as a layer style, which you can then apply to a text layer if that's what you're referring to. Am I going to do capture? I don't think I'm going to do capture in this daily creative challenge, set of daily creative challenges. On the last one, daily creative challenge number 9, I'm going to work with vector graphics, and I am going to mention it, but that won't be the main topic for the stream. So yeah, Ted, challenge number 9, I'll talk a little bit about capture, but not too much. I was wondering about the banana too. So yeah, so the banana tool here in under edit toolbar, if you hold the shift key and then click on done, Photoshop adds a banana into the toolbar. Also, if you press Control K, Command K on the Mac, go into workspace, go into interface, you can hold what is the keyword shortcut? I already forgot it. Oh yeah, Alt and Shift, and you can get toast and you can get coffee if you hold Control and Alt. That's on Windows. Option Shift on the Mac, or Command Option on the Mac for the coffee. But yeah, you can get banana, coffee, and toast in Photoshop, and the icons don't do anything. They're just little fun Easter eggs. Before I leave off, so I know we didn't finish our little cover, but let's just assume that we made the most beautiful cover in the world. All you would have to do now is go under File, Export as, and you can export your beautiful cover. That'll be much better than mine, I'm sure. And you can use a JPEG format, and then you can click on export, save it anywhere that you want. I'm going to save it onto my desktop. I'll call it DCC cover. And then you can take that cover into this section, click on upload image, find it, press open, and since we use the right dimensions, it'll fit in perfectly right on that cover. So this is how you would create a cover for the daily creative challenges that we're going to work on. Remember to use the appropriate hashtag #PSDailyChallenge so that you have an opportunity to be featured in the curated gallery. And that's this one here. Oh wait, I thought I was right on it. I guess I'm not. Let me find it. We have the galleries here. This is what I'm talking about, the Creative Challenge galleries right there. Also, make sure that you go into behance.net's Daily Creative Challenge here. Click on behance.net/challenge/Photoshop. Click on Community Chat so that you can go onto Discord and submit your work. I'm almost out of time, so I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you found those tips useful and you can use the layer styles, the patterns, and the gradients that were hidden inside of Photoshop. That way you can create more awesome designs. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm just looking at the chat just to see if there are any questions. Awesome, no more questions. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow with the first Daily Creative Challenge. Again, that's on Daily Creative Challenge /Photoshop on Behance. And we're gonna start with the challenge number 1. That'll be a portrait daily creative challenge. We're gonna work with a face. We're gonna probably use my face, so we'll see. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here with me. And make sure that you stick around, because right after me, we have illustration with Shiny, then we have Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge with Andrew, and we have UI UX design with Rachel, and at 2 we have the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge with Andrea, and Kathleen, who's in the chat, will end the day with a sketch party. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys again very soon. Bye.